Hello, this is the tradesight Forex Market Preview and International Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, the 12th of October, 2014, ending Friday, the 17th. That'll be October options expiration already, believe it or not. So we're looking at options expiration week here in the month of October. All right, so here's a look at the dollar index daily chart. Obviously been on a tear since finally breaking out of that 81.50 area that we were stuck under for almost a full year. Ranges have been back and forth. We've had some good days. We've had some average days. I think I'm going to give a whirl to full size this week for the first time in 11 months. We'll see how it goes, but that's what I'm looking at. We've certainly started to tack on some gains. So here's a look at the euro dollar. Obviously moved a lot in that same move for the dollar, and is trying to develop a new seeker buy signal. And here's the pound dollar. This is interesting. You can see the 13 buy signal, and we have not yet violated and then cracked the lows of the prior bar under that pink risk line. So the risk line is still holding the pound in place. There's a look at the Aussie. Now this is an inverted cup and handle. Breakdown under the lows here looks very, very bearish. Looks like a good trigger point right there for a long-term daily chart under the lows of that inverted cup and handle that you see. Here's the New Zealand dollar, not as nicely set up. Pound yen broke out and came right back. It's still in a narrow range, so the cross pairs are not yet ready to roll. All right, let's take a look at the euro dollar this week in 30-minute bars and see what we got during the trading week. High to low for the week was almost 300 pips. That's obviously very improved and should be tradable. You can see that Monday there was a move. Tuesday was a little flat. Wednesday there was a move after the Fed announcement, or the Fed minutes were released from the last meeting. Thursday there was a move back. Friday there was a decent move. All in all, nothing to complain about in terms of movement on the euro dollar. Here's a look at the pound dollar intra-week, and this one traded again about just short of 300 pips of total range. So we are seeing movement again. It's not all just spikes on news, although certainly you can see one or two of those in here as well. But that's very nice for us to see the bigger ranges now. Once again, here's the Aussie dollar. This one only traded about 240 pips, but you still be happy with that. That's better than we were seeing for a while. All right, let's take a look at the economic data that's coming out this week and try to get a feel for what we're doing here. We are just a couple weeks away from all of the countries doing their time change for daylight savings. So, bank holiday in Japan to start the week. Won't be much movement on the yen-based pairs overnight. New Zealand has their FPI number. Trade balance out of China, German WPI, bank holiday. Oh, that's right. We've got this is Veterans Day holiday, or Columbus Day holiday here in the U.S. That means Monday is going to be a waste of time with banks closed. So we aren't going to be doing Forex calls on Sunday. We will resume calls on Monday with the U.S. bank holiday. There's no point in trading Forex when the U.S. banks are all closed. And obviously Canada's closed as well, so is Japan. So that just hurts even more. M2 money stock out of Japan Monday night. PPI out of Japan Monday night. Business confidence out of Australia. China's foreign direct investment. Europe's French CPI, Switzerland's PPI, this is all Tuesday, China's new loans and M2 money supply. Out of the UK at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we've got the CPI, all the inflation data, PPI and RPI, and the housing price index, the HPI. Europe's got their industrial production, zoo economic sentiment, and Germany's zoo economic sentiment 30 minutes after the UK data. We've got the US federal budget balance sometime this week. We've got Westpac consumer sentiment out of Australia Tuesday night, China's CPI and PPI, Japan's 30-year bond auction. Going into Wednesday morning, revised industrial production out of Japan, German CPI out of Europe. We've got unemployment rate out of the UK, zoo economic expectations out of Switzerland, core retail sales PPI out of the US at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday. That's a couple of decent numbers right there. But nothing really here of importance. Business inventories out of the U.S., Beige Book out of the U.S. in the afternoon. A couple of speeches from key economic participants around the globe. Heading into Thursday, the SECO economic forecast out of Switzerland, Italian trade balance, CPI and trade balance out of Europe at 5 a.m. Eastern Time. That's two big numbers at the same time. Spanish 10-year bond auction. In the U.S., we've got unemployment claims, that's the weekly number, capacity utilization and industrial production, the Philly Fed, members of the Fed speaking, the housing market index, natty gas, crude oil inventories. Remember, those are on the same day when Monday's a holiday. Tick long-term purchases. We've got the final GDP out of Europe Friday morning. And then Friday morning, core CPI and CPI out of Canada, followed by building permits, housing starts, the Fed Chair Yellen speaking, and the preliminary University of Michigan sentiment data for October. So, obviously this week, Monday, we're not going to be worried about trade calls. The rest of the week, we will have some more action, more economic data, it looks like, as you get later in the week. We do have options expiration, as I said. That may slow Friday down as well. But we'll be looking to make our first calls Monday. We will put levels up Sunday and Monday, but we'll be making our first calls of the week on Monday when the week officially starts after the U.S. bank holiday. Have a great trading week. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal 11. If you haven't taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We can help you out for a couple weeks.